Hey, I thought it would be good if I do some reading on here tonight. And I'm going to be reading. It's actually one of my favorite shows. And it's Once Upon a Time. This was given to me by my little cousin because she knows that I'm obsessed with this show. I love Once Upon a Time. So anybody that watched Once Upon a Time, please drop a comment. Tell me what you think. So technically I did read this book. Well, not the whole book, but maybe like a few pages. But I can't remember where I stopped. So I'm just going to start over. And I've been trying to, I keep saying that I was going to read more. Try to read before I go to bed, if I can, just a little bit. So I'm just going to start over, and then I'm just going to read. And again, I'm doing it this way. Once Upon a Time, Regina Rising by 𝙊𝙘𝙘𝙚. Okay, Friday, May 5th. The bolt slammed into its brackets with a terrible bang, cowering against the wall. I clutched my chest as if trying to keep my heart from bursting right out. You'll stay in your room until I grant you permission to come out. My mother's voice from the bottom of the staircase to the arched ceiling and vast walls of the hallway. Do you hear me? Though I couldn't see her, I pictured her standing on the landing, arms crossed and head tilted, as still as a statue, except for the plumes of residual purple smoke coming from her fingertips. So I thought I'd also give you insight for people that really don't understand this book. So basically, her mother's name is Cora. And basically when she was talking about the purple smoke coming from her fingers, basically she was going to do some type of magic. Like seal the doors or something where she can't come out or something like that. Just thought I'd throw that input in there. I wish she would have trumped up the stairs and locked the door with her own two hands instead of using magic. See, that's what I meant. So normally she could have just closed the doors with her two hands, but she decided to do magic because she feels like it's easier. Her mother feels like it's easier. However, subtlety, I think that's it, right, was not in her nature. Answer me, Regina. Yes, mother, I said. I heard a faint pattering noise, but I couldn't tell if it was my mother's high heels tapping on the tiles as she walked away, or the bolt on the outside of my bedroom door trying to settle into place after having suffered such a blow. Yeah. I hung my riding jacket and peeled off my boots. I had no idea how long I'd be imprisoned in my room. So I figured I might as well be comfortable. Yeah, might as well at that point. So she also, when she was talking about, I hung up my riding jacket and peeled off my boots. Yeah, she likes to ride her horse. This is kind of like the beginning of before Regina, her character went off the deep end. I kind of like when she was like this though. It shows like her sensitive, softer side of herself. Heaving out a gust of air, I slid down the wall until I was seated on the rug. I'd always admired the rug my father had brought home for me from one of his many trips. Not only did it protect me from the hard, chilly floor beneath, but it also kept me amused. Growing up, I spent countless hours lying on my belly, letting my imagination run rampant with the adventures I could have with all the trees, flowers, and the animals woven into it. as if they were real. With the tip of my finger, I traced along the familiar scene. From the pond where frogs floated on the lily pads to the stream teeming with fish, pausing when I reached the green snake coiled up on its bank. September, 10 years earlier. "Come, child," my father urged, when he spied me peeking into his smoking room. I wiped my eyes on the cuff of my blouse, hoping he hadn't spotted the tears. My mother and I had gone to town, and a pair of little girls had invited me to play marbles. My mother had scooted me past before I even been able to answer, and when I begged her to let me play one little game, she said, "We have more important things to do." Only I couldn't think of a single thing we'd done that afternoon that was important at all. It probably was nothing. Cora, she really did not let Regina live her best life for some reason. I don't know. I also want to say about her father, and since it said September 10 years earlier, meaning that she's kind of, what's it called? Like, you're thinking of like something that happened from the past. Like you're glancing back. That's what this section is. And her father's name is Henry. She was very close with her father. Her father really loved her. Unlike her mother. Her mother loved her, but in a weird way. Strange way. My father finished cutting an apple and placed the slices on a plate beside his favorite chair. It was autumn, the best season of the entire year, and the orchard was bursting with beautiful red fruit. Okay. I have a story for you. He patted his knee and I hopped onto his lap. Once there was an old man, he began. "As old as you, Daddy?" I asked, pulling playfully on his beard. Unlike Mother, he never seemed to mind when I interrupted. He used the break to hand me a slice of apple. Makes me want an apple now. Even older, if you can believe it. Oh, I can believe it if I really tried hard. I teased him as I relished the crispy sweet fruit. "Well, that's good to know," he said with a chuckle. I snuggled up to his velvet soft vest as he continued his story. The old man loved having his breakfast beside a beautiful gurgling brook. The animals who made their homes near the brook looked forward to his daily visit, for he always had a song to sing and brought plenty of food to share. One morning, a green snake slithered over to the old man's basket. The birds took to the air. The squirrels and rabbits and foxes squirreled off. Even the fish swam downstream safely out of the snake's reach. Ugh, can't blame him for doing that. "Why are you still here, old man?" the snake asked. Are your eyes too old to see I'm a poisonous snake?" "My bones might creak, my skin may be wrinkled, but there is nothing wrong with my eyes," replied the man. He then reached into his basket and held a piece of bread before the deadly serpent. The snake smiled slyly at the old man as his venomous fangs sank through the bread and deep into the man's palm. I'm going to stop right there just for a bit. So that's part of the book. And I think I'm going to make it a goal here to kind of read this book. We're going to read this book together. So I'm going to try to read every night. And if it's not every night, definitely try to make it every other night. But I do want to finish this book. So thank you guys for watching the first part of my reading. So let's read this book together.